Hi, and thank you for joining us for the first 30 days, Black Futures on Black History. I'm Lanisha DeBartoleben, President and CEO of the Northwest African American Museum. It's been exactly 30 days since we saw Madam Vice President Kamala Harris be sworn in as the nation's first Vice President to be African American, Indian, an alumna of a historically Black college and university, Howard University, and a member of a Black sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. At that same historic inauguration, we heard the powerful poetic words of a young sister, Amanda Gorman, who spoke truth to power poetically and with the poise of a rising young star. In her presence stood all of the other promising young leaders across our country, including those here in Seattle, Washington. A proverb that guides our educational work here at the Northwest African American Museum is this: there are two gifts we should give our children. One is roots, the other is wings. Today's program is all about giving our young people both roots and wings, both a history and a destiny, both a look back into our shared past and a glimpse forward into our collective future possibilities, which they are building. For many of us watching today, we grew up in eras where it was perhaps difficult to imagine a Black woman vice president. But we are a hopeful people, a resilient people. Our young people can now see something different, and they can set their heights beyond limitations or barriers. Those obstacles will likely still be there along the way, but we have young people who are now creating the future they wish to see. Today's program is not just for them or about them, but it is theirs. They share their thoughts, their reflections, their aspirations, their reactions. They are our future. Throughout the year here at the Northwest African American Museum, we have programs for young people. From our Dr. Carver Gayton Youth Curator program, which is award-winning, to our summer youth camp, to our HBCU Sunday, to our Knowledge is Power book and soccer balls giveaway, to Black Santa, Kwanzaa, and countless others. We are here for our future, for our youth. So enjoy their program today. You'll hear from youth ages 7 to 17. And to host today's program, I am delighted to present the board chair of the Black Lives Matter Seattle King County chapter, Deaunte Damper. Over to you, Deaunte.
Thanks so much, Lanisha. Hey everyone, my name is Deaunte Damper. I am the interim chair for Black Lives Matter Seattle King County. I'm so happy to be here today. Let me tell you, it's one thing about being around us community members, but it's something about Black History Month and talking to our youth. It's just really, it's so essential for us right now. Through police injustice, through having a Black woman in the White House. There's so many things that are impacting us right now, but our youth, education is the passport to the future. And showing up for our youth right now is so essential. Today, I am partnering with NAM that have been around for 13 years of providing information and historical information for King County. And we have to go hand in hand because Black Lives Matter and NAM as a space for education, as a resource for community events once we open back up. Why wouldn't we do something together? Today, I'll be talking to some youth today about what impacts them, how we can move forward, and even as elders, take accountability and figure out ways to show up for our youth. from so many different organizations that have been started over the years. They've usually been started from someone that is what? I don't know, about 20 and under, from the Fred Hamptons to getting into some good trouble with Senator Lewis. We've all known that youth have actually taken us to so many different places. Today, we're going to talk to some of our young scholars today, and I'm so happy for NAM, who's continuously opened the doors for community unity, that is. Hi, how y'all doing?
Great.
Great. All right, so let's start with what's your name and how old you are.
I'm Zoe.
Hi, Zoe. How old are you?
9.
9. Nice to meet you. Sir?
I'm Christian and I'm 11.
You're 11. Nice to meet you, Christian. And you, sir?
My name is Fitz and I am 7.
Hi, I'm Deaunte. What's your name and how old are you?
My name is Brooklyn and I'm 17 years old.
My name is Samara and I'm 17 years old.
Hi, my name is Erin. I'm 15 years old and my pronouns are she, her.
In your opinion, what's the most important moments in events in Black history?
I think the most important event in Black history would be us gaining the right to vote. I say this because I think that is important that we get our voices heard and that we have a say in what happens in our lives, especially like we don't want what happened in our past election to happen again. There was a lot of racism and hatred towards minority groups, and I don't want that in my to happen in the future, especially for my generation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was when Colin Kaepernick had got fired from the NFL for kneeling during the national anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
I think at the time, well, still, I'm mad about it, you know, because it was never. I don't think he should have lost his job because of that, for making a stand, you know.
I was thinking about this question and I started thinking about present day, but then I realized that every single day something amazing happens in the Black community and we uplift each other every single day, no matter what. I think no matter the time, we're always creating history as Black people and African-American people. So yeah, I think history happens every single day in small communities, in big ways and in tiny ways too, just, small interactions. So yeah.
What are the 3 things you think it'll take to create a stronger future for African Americans?
I'd say stop fighting each other, and support each other and fight with each other. Yeah. Or no, fight for each other, sorry.
Well, sometimes we got to get through it to get to it. So I agree with both sometimes.
Yeah.
That's a good answer, Samara.
I think the number one thing that has created a foundation for the community, the Black community, is community and service. I see so many volunteers and volunteer programs, but service is what kind of uplifts us and keeps us going, giving back. And then it somehow finds a way to kind of boomerang back to you. So it's this cycle of respect and service. Even Martin Luther King and many historical figures, they cared about service and they did service. They sacrificed a lot. And I think you shouldn't worry about what you're getting back because you're going to get it back in some way. I think the second way, support. I think service kind of plays into that, but it's also different, finding ways to support African American children and Black children because of what they go through every single day. It's a lot of people, I think, blow off how impactful it is to kind of see these events happening every single day. And there's so many children that are having these side effects and they're getting mental illnesses and trauma from all these events if they've experienced it too. And if we support our communities from the ground up, starting at like age whatever, just a very small age, we can definitely build a strong community, and we can have these strong leaders in our community as well. And then we can nurture the fact that we can nurture their characteristics, who they are, what they want in life, and then they can achieve many things and even more things than we've done in the past, which is amazing, I think.
Amen. I'm sorry, tearing at my heartstrings here.
I think there's a divide, a kind of divide between Black people, like within the Black community. So I think if we all came together and like worked together instead of being divided, that would make a really big impact. I also think that our justice system is really broken. So if like we could find a way to like, I don't know like how we would fix it, but just like find a way to like try to fix it, like spread awareness about that topic and like get the word out there that this is happening and we need to fix it. I think that would also have a really big impact. I also think that like just like a simple like educating people like in the moment, just like saying, hey, this is something that's happening, you did this, and like just like the simple act of like just educating people on certain topics in the moment instead of being scared and like retreating and just letting it happen.
What kind of things do you do in your community to strengthen the future of African Americans?
Okay. I try to keep myself educated, like when there's, Black people getting killed and stuff like that. I try to keep myself educated. And I also like, since I can't really do anything physically, like I'll post about it, and make other people aware of it.
Like actually fighting for what we believe in will strengthen the future of Black people and African Americans everywhere. I also think that just like calling out leaders and like actually correcting like people like higher up, like the president, and like contacting people in like even local government and calling them out and saying, hey, this is happening and we need to fix it, and correcting even like little things that could lead to bigger things. I think that would also make a really big impact.
What advice would you give to a younger person who wants to get involved in their community?
Definitely just go for it. And when I started, I actually started when I moved to Seattle because I had Nam down the street, Lanisha, you even. Like I saw so many people just getting out and doing what they needed to do. My friend Dianara, we started a podcast called Empowering Our Melanin, and we have our own page now, which started last year. But also just seeing her embrace who she is and embrace like the culture really just empowered me. And it pushed me to embrace my own culture.
Volunteer at like community centers, churches. I volunteer with the Clean Greens Farmers Market.
Oh yes, I'm familiar with them. They do amazing work.
Yeah, so I'd say for other youth, like volunteer for Black-owned businesses or anything like that.
I would say just do it. Because personally, from my experience, I've been shy in the past, but I've learned that like being shy is not a bad thing, but it also like putting yourself out there and taking a risk and like if you want to make a change, then you should do it. Because if you're just kind of sitting there, nothing's going to happen. It could be as simple as like sending an email out to your school saying this has happened and I think we should pay attention to it. Like it could be something as simple as that. And like just like even you can even get like your friends involved and like make it a fun experience for you. Don't make it like draining for you. Make it a fun experience. Make it make it enjoyable while making an impact.
You guys up for a game?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you some pictures and you need to let me know how you feel. This is more so on your first reaction. And we'll start with the first picture.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you the first picture and I'll start with, I think I'll go with Fitz. How do you feel looking at that picture? What do you see?
Mad. And
Mad?
people-
Mad?
People fighting because there's black people there.
How does that make you feel?
Sad and mostly mad.
Yeah. I can feel that. I think I was sad and mostly mad when I looked at it too. So let's go to the second picture and I'll go with Zoe. Zoe, while looking at the second picture, how do you feel?
The second picture, I feel really confident about this one because they're protesting, and that is really good.
It's really good to protest.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's important. It really is. So now we'll go to the third picture, and I'll pick Christian.
I feel angry.
What do you see? Why do you feel angry?
I see the policeman holding a dog, and the dog is biting a man's shirt.
Why does it make you feel angry? Have you seen anything happen like that before?
No.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, so we're gonna go to the fourth picture, and I'll go with Fitz again.
I see a black man drinking out of a white only fountain, but I think it's actually fair if all fountains could just be for everybody.
Absolutely.
And I feel happy.
You feel happy seeing him do that? Yeah, I know that's right. I felt happy looking at it too. Y'all felt happy looking at it? Because I know I did. Yep, right. Okay, so the next one is the last picture. And I need to know how you feel with looking at this picture.
I think about this picture is I'm happy because because it's Barack Obama and the new vice president. I don't know her name.
Okay, who knows her name? Anybody know her name?
I forgot.
You forgot?
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. All right. Yes. Kamala Harris. You feel great looking at the picture. Fitz, how do you feel looking at the picture?
I feel very happy.
I'm ecstatic. Okay. I got one more question.
Okay.
So are you guys ready for this? It's an important question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you are young leaders too, right?
Yes.
You're young leaders. How can the older folks, elders in your community, how can we do a better job with showing up for you young leaders?
Whenever we grow up, we can take over for you, and we could probably make the world a better place.
Okay. All right. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Christian, what can older people do for you? What can the elders do?
Something that older people that can do for us is they can help us help the homeless.
Yeah, we can do that together. Mm-hmm. What about you, Christian?
Education.
Huh?
Education.
Education? What does that mean? Elaborate.
Teaching.
Teaching to the younger folks?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna play a little game, right? So I'm gonna show you 5 pictures from Black history. I just want for you to share your first reaction to each photo. Can you do that?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so we'll go with picture number 1.
All right. This image, for me, it represents resiliency. And I mean, you can see on the woman's face she's the woman on the right, the Black woman on the right, or the photo, but you can kind of see this expression on her face that almost shows that she's just ready to get up and go. But she's sitting there, and no matter how many people are behind her, all these white people are behind her, you know, laughing it up, making fun of both of them. I think it's 2 people, correct? Oh, it's actually 3 people, I believe. But you can kind of see this like saddened look on her face. But at the same time, I can kind of tell that she pushed through it and she knows that it's going to pay off. And I don't know, I think it's a hard photo. But then also, we kind of see this today in subtle ways. I don't exactly see, I mean, maybe, because it happens a lot. I bet it still happens in some places, but it still happens in subtle ways, no matter how liberal your city is. In the background, there's still going to be white people laughing at you, pouring water symbolically on your head, trying to get you to give up and give them the gold medal, let them have their privilege, let them have all of these horrible rights and or laws and stuff.
This is kind of like painful to see. It looks like obnoxious and like unnecessary. There's like doesn't seem to be any reasoning besides just I'm just gonna do it just to do it. And I think that's like really unsettling and upsetting.
How does the picture number 1 make you feel looking at it?
I feel disgusted, really.
Why?
Because like they're provoking them.
So let's look at picture number 2.
Okay.
What do you see, Samara?
I see that they're protesting for something.
I feel like it's a really powerful photo. The one thing that kind of strikes me is the fact that they're so young, and the fact that they have to go through this at like such a young age and do things that they shouldn't even be having to do. I think also it shows how we have to go through these things at such a young age. And now it's not exact, I mean, it could be in a form of a protest, but also just their expressions and what they, like the blank expression on their face, I think shows a lot about what Black men and Black women and Black people go through at a young, I mean, I kind of see like a really young man in the back, but yeah. I mean, they're still growing up, but they have to sacrifice a lot of their lives, and they had to sacrifice a lot of their lives to get these rights and to get people out there, to push people, and they accomplished a lot. So it's a lot to take in, but it's kind of.
That was beautiful. That was a great description.
I think it seems really powerful. Like the way that they're all like standing in a line and like with a straight face. Like it's sad to see like this is what like the protest seems like sad. Like it's sad that has to be a protest, but it's still like powerful to see like Black men just standing and like holding that power within them and using it. Like, yeah.
I love that. Love that. It's a great way to answer that. So let's go with the 3rd picture.
This picture is like scary. Just because like this kind of stuff, like police brutality, like it happens now, and it's like it hasn't gone away, and like that's a reality for the Black community. I mean, like not to like this extent, but like it's been normalized almost. So it's just sad to see like this is like history repeating itself. I can see present day in that picture.
I don't really have a reaction, you know, given all the things that has happened, you know, a few months ago when Ahmaud was shot and Breonna Taylor and all of them. So I don't really have a reaction because this is every day, you know?
The oppressor has trained so many people to do the same things as them, and to see us as this threat and to attack us essentially, and to beat us down. Because even the dog, like, it's an animal, you know? So they had to be trained to do all of these things. And I think the training goes through the system and just through people's minds, but it's kind of just sad to see how much of a wall the oppressor has made.
I see a Black man drinking from the whites only fountain. And for this, I feel, you know, I don't really feel bad, you know, like if he were to get caught, like it would be bad, but like, it's like, I have a feeling like, come on, you know, like there's no point in having a whites and Black only, you know, everybody should be able to drink from the same fountain.
I think with this photo, I see hope almost, you know, hope that one day it's not going to say whites only or Blacks only. It's just going to say nothing really, just going to be a water fountain. And I love this photo too because it's not exactly a photo where he can't do something, you know? He's showing that he can do what they do as well, what white people do as well.
I see Obama bumping fists with Kamala Harris.
Yeah. What is that? How does that feel?
It feels pretty good, you know, like I'm really happy that there's a Black woman as our vice president.
Yeah.
And it feels really good because she's a woman, you know.
Yeah.
And she's Black, so that's a plus. So I'm really happy for that.
This picture makes me like happy, seeing two Black people in power, even though like Kamala, she like, it's so cool seeing someone like seeing representation in government, especially like a woman of color. And I think that's really cool and like really inspiring to see, just because like you don't see that often, and it's just like, wow, like that's so cool.
How can elders support you? How do we show up for the youth? What can we do better?
I think a lot of what happens is that people deny our experiences and like kind of push them aside just because we're younger. But I think just like acknowledging that we experience racism, we experience struggle, and like acknowledging that would help a lot. And then like this supporting us overall, like if we want to like start a protest and like help support that, like spread the word. Don't be like, well, you shouldn't do this kind of like, okay, let's do it.
I'd say trying to understand us first,
you
know, because you can't show up for us and not understand us, you know. So I'd say try understanding us, and you know, listening to us.
Yeah.
Like, not like, oh, you know, like, hey, go get me something to drink, not like that, but when we have like listen to what we have to say.
Right. Listen to everything. Yeah, that is so important. We as elders, we have to learn too. See, it's we teach some, and then we have to learn ourselves. So as a youth, what can we do to, as an elder in the community, what can we do to support you?
I think definitely share wisdom and share what you might have went through, telling us, like giving us advice, mentoring us. I think mentorship is a big part of like becoming an activist and going out and doing these things. So give us that. And then also I'd say, listen. A lot of the time, there are elders who don't want to be as progressive or follow the new generation, but just try to listen and tackle these new things that we're introducing to the world. And please just share, I guess. Share your stories, share ideas, opinions, past experiences, so we know what to look forward to or what to prepare ourselves for. So, yeah.
Now, Samara, one thing I have to say is, and I know people are watching, but I just have to say, I've been knowing this girl since she was a baby. And one thing that I know that God has blessed you with is just the talent of song. So can you please do your church uncle a favor, please? Can you bless us with a song, please?
Yes, I can.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to sing it a cappella because I don't have to or anything.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. I'm gonna make a difference. I'm gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, the wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man soul. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. I've been a victim of a selfish kind of love. It's time that I realized that there was some with no home and not a nickel alone. Could it be really me pretending that they're not alone? A willow deeply scarred, somebody's broken heart, and a washed out dream. They follow the pattern of the wind, you see, 'cause they got nowhere to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change.
The Undefeated by Kwame Alexander, illustrated by Kadir Nelson. This is for the unforgettable, the swift and sweet ones, who hurdled history and opened a world of possible. The ones who survived America by any means necessary, and the ones who didn't. This is for the undeniable, the ones who scored with chains on one hand and faith in the other. This is for the unflappable, the sophisticated ones who box adversity and tackle vision, who shine, let their light for the world to see, and don't stop till the break of dawn. This is for the unafraid, the audacious ones who carry the red, white, and weary blues on the battlefield to save an imperfect union. The righteous marching ones saying, "We shall not be moved, because Black Lives Matter." This is for the unspeakable. This is for the unspeakable. This is for the unspeakable. This is for the unlimited, unstoppable ones. They're the dreamers and doers who swim across the big sea of our imagination and show us the majestic shores of the promised land. The Wilma Rudolphs, the Muhammad Ali's, the Aletha Gibsons, the Jesse Owenses, the Jordans and the LeBrons, the Serenas and the Shirleys, the Reese Whitleys and the Undiscovered. This is for the unbelievable, the we real cool ones. This is for the unbending, the black as the night is beautiful ones. This is for the underdogs and the uncertain, the unspoken but no longer united. This is for the undefeated. This is for you and you and you. This is for us. And that's the end. My name is Fitzgerald Bell II. I am a second grader and a member at NAM. I present to you Hey Black Child by County Cullen. Hey Black Child, do you know who you are? Who you really are? Do you know that you can be what you want to be if you try to be what you can be? Hey Black Child, do you know where you are going? Where you are really going? Do you know that you can learn what you want to learn if you try to learn what you can learn? Hey Black Child, do you know you are strong? I mean really strong. Do you know that you can do what you want to do if you try to do what you can do? Hey Black Child, be what you can be. Learn what you must learn and do what you can do. And tomorrow your nation will be what you want it to be.
I'm Katie Hall, the Youth Curator Program Coordinator, and one of the many teaching artists that partner with 11 youth curators who are all co-producers of this fun, educational short film. We are honored to continue the award-winning legacy of the Northwest African American Museums program. For 2020, we decided to explore Washington State's Black women of the arts, engaging their artistic work in music, literature, and dance influenced by the Pacific Northwest. Little did we know the challenges this year would present our group of youth. COVID, racism on the forefront, police brutality, protests, and quarantine lockdowns. Despite all of that, the 2020 Youth Curator program rose to the challenge, creating a truly special experience, which is why we are so proud to showcase their talent, resiliency, and creativity. Sit back and enjoy this short film. We would like to welcome our guest teaching artist and expert on Black women in history, Dr. Juanita Cobbins-Monica, to talk to us about the importance of Black women in the arts.
Black women in the Pacific Northwest played important roles throughout history and made significant contributions to the region. While battling decades of racial and gender discrimination, they fought as fearless leaders and active participants in movements for social change, such as the suffrage, civil rights, Black power, and recently, the Black Lives Matter movement. Despite such achievements, we often do not hear about them, and their work is often overlooked or undervalued, especially Black women in the arts. Black women artists are important in our society. Through the use of poetry, literature, music, dance, and painting, they give rise to women's voices and political expressions that empower the masses, tell stories of lived experience, and heal the spirit.
Sierra Wilson was born October 25th, 1985 in Austin, Texas. She knew music was her destiny at a very young age. She joined the group Hearsay before starting her solo career, reaching star status with her debut album, The Goodies, and making the Billboard Hot 100 list. Sierra is now a mother, a wife, and a strong leader in the Seattle community with her husband, quarterback Russell Wilson, reading to the children at the Seattle Children's Hospital, providing 1 million meals to those impacted by the pandemic. She is one of the board members of the Why Not You Foundation, focusing on supporting and motivating young girls worldwide. Sierra's impact has branched out beyond music and rooted itself into social change. Amanda Morgan is a native of Tacoma, Washington. Inspired by ballet, she joined the Pacific Northwest Ballet, where she noticed no one looked like her. Using it as inspiration, she dedicated herself into becoming an example for girls of color in Seattle, accomplishing more before the age of 25 than many do in a lifetime, performing lead roles and having ballet pieces such as George Balanchine's The Nutcracker and Ronald Henn's Sleeping Beauty. Eventually founding the Seattle Project, a group of collaborating artists focusing on dance and art pieces that break down barriers of accessibility. It doesn't matter what color skin you have, says Morgan. If you want to achieve something and work hard for it, then you can reach your dreams. Oleda Adams is a Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, and pianist who found success in the music industry during a time when making an impact as a Black female was difficult in a white female-dominated profession. Born on May 4th, 1953, Oleda spent the first years of her life in Seattle before moving to Yakima, Washington with her family. While performing at a bar, Tears for Fears sought her to contribute her talents to their 1989 album, The Seed of the Love. Her voice was featured on their second album, cruising it to the top 40 around the world. That same year, she recorded her debut album, Circle of One. She now lives in Kansas City with her husband, John, away from the public eye. When asked about the impact of her music, she says, "I hope it speaks to them in their own way." Pat Wright is a legendary gospel singer whose voice still echoes in every corner of Seattle. She migrated from Texas to Washington on a segregated bus, lived in a segregated neighborhood, and performed Black pride songs in segregated schools. Surviving abuse every step of the way as a woman of color, she was a major presence in the Seattle music scene in the 60s and the 70s, and is listed as Metropolitan Top 50 Most Influential Musicians. She sang at Jimi Hendrix's funeral and for President Obama. "I never thought I would live to see an African American become President of the United States of America. With all of the prejudice that this country has against people of color," said Wright. Now 79 and retired, Pat Wright lives in the Central District, which has become predominantly white, making it more difficult to perfect the gospel song without the Black contingent. Gospel can't simply be sung and you don't clap and sway for the heck of it, says Wright. The idea is to work the lyrics out of you, like an emotion welling up in the heart, like a situation that needs fixing, like a journey with oppression on the back end and hope on the front end. Thank you for joining us for Washington State's Black Women of the Arts. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We hope you are inspired to learn more about the rich legacy of Black women of the arts within the Pacific Northwest and become the next generation of great artists.
Well, that's all, folks, but actually it's really just the beginning. I really want to thank our youth that have sat here and talked to us today, that sung to us today. We heard their voices today. So I would just love to encourage us elders that are watching this today to make sure that we are figuring out ways to continue to show up for you. I would like to thank Lanisha, who offered BLM a space to partner with her on this event to talk with the youth. The museum has been here for almost 13 years, and I am always inspired to see what they have new there. They've been so innovative with their growth with community unity is so important. Being with BLM SKC, we are doing the same advocacy space. We have some events that'll be coming up more, and who's to say if we might be partnering with them coming soon. But please check us out at blmskc.org. Check us out. I just want to leave y'all with this. We heard a lot from the youth today, and we have to do a better job with showing up for them. And it just doesn't go to the youth. It's showing up for our Black women too. And yes, that includes Black trans women. That also includes advocating for our LGBTQ communities. That means advocating for our elders. That means advocating for our churches, synagogues, and mosques. We can't do this without each other. Community unity first, community unity always. I appreciate NAM for the opportunity to speak with y'all today. This is actually my first public speaking event outside of the other calls to action, but this was a call to action to you community. BLM is here, and so is NAM. And we love you all, and we hope you have a blessed night.
Thank you all for attending today's program. And thank you, Aaron, Brooklyn, Samara, Zoe, Christian, and Fitz. You all are our future, and you are phenomenal. And thank you to Deaunte and the Black Lives Matter Seattle King County chapter. Thank you for being with us and for our youth. We hope you all were inspired today. Please join us tomorrow for a special interactive story time in partnership with the Greater Seattle Business Association. And join us on February 25th for a conversation about George Washington Bush and Jacob Lawrence with the Washington State Historical Society. And join us February 28th for a conversation with award-winning author Rochelle Riley about her new book, That They Lived, African Americans Who Changed the World. Mark your calendars for March 28th. We will be in conversation with Alelia Bundles, the great-granddaughter of Madam C.J. Walker, as part of the Northwest African American Museum's Descendants Series, Special Edition Women's History Month. Here at NAM, we believe in changing our community, our region, our nation, and the world through anti-racist education, inclusive history, and the power of the Black arts. Join us in this mission. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.